crystal under you. Now, I've not worked with anybody with a crystal under them before, and so either this is going to go really, really well, or it won't. And there's a little story in my life where I'm not trained in crystal healing at all. I use this crystal only in workshops to amplify energy. So let's see what happens. So what's your first name?
Anya.
Anya. And show us what's wrong with your arm. What can't
I
you do?
broke it as a 9-year-old, and I
Oh.
just can't pull it all the way here. It stops there.
Wow. And so that's been since you were 9, and how old are you now?
44.
Right, so that's a long time, isn't it? So if we could fix that, that would be impressive, wouldn't it, eh? that would be like amazing, like something really quite amazing might be happening if we can fix that. So show us again, just for the camera, because later on people will say, all right, so...
So if I really strain myself, I don't get any further.
No further. Right, okay. Right, so relax it down. Cool. Let's see what we can do. All right, so you broke your arm at 9, but presumably they didn't set it quite right. Would that be fair enough to say?
Yeah, I had a nail in there for a while.
Yeah, okay. Let's go and move that back a wee bit. All right, so what happens for me, all that I need to do is have a really clear intent to help Anya. It's not me doing the healing. I work for God. I'm not religious. I don't belong to any particular church. I've been steered away from conventional, if you like, religion. I know that I access God in here, and I believe that everybody can access God in here. And so I just say a prayer for Anya in my heart, and you just try those arms again, just to see how they are. Yeah. Is it feeling any different at all? Nothing yet? No? Okay, rest it down. What will typically happen is the surgeons, the spirit surgeons, these are spiritual beings that in their physical life, they were surgeons. But the one that's working through me at the moment is called Dr. Augusto de Almeida. You can see an artist's impression of him over there, with the blue background, the one on the top of the piano. That's Dr. Augusto de Almeida. And he was a surgeon. He's called Dr. Augusto. Augusto's his surname, always with an O on the end. De means of Almeida. Sounds like a place in Portugal. I'm guessing it's in Portugal. Might be Portugal, might be Spain. I better look that up one day. And he was a doctor, but you can imagine 200 years ago they were just sawing off limbs, no anaesthesia. It's not the medicine that we have of today. And so he got into spirit world and he decided, right, so again, just try, Anya, just try how that's feeling. Certainly looked a bit better that time, didn't it? Does it?
My whole body is tingling.
Your whole body's tingling? Yeah,
Sure.
Cooking with gas. So it's not me fixing. I'm like, oh, if this can be fixed, this is really cool. This is going to be a good night out. If we can fix this first one, the next one's going to be really good, aren't they? So it's not me doing the healing, it's God. And we've sort of forgotten God in our world at the moment. We've forgotten God. God is present everywhere and God is invisible. When I was little, my grandma told me God was everywhere and God was invisible and God knew everything. He knew all your thoughts, all your feelings. And it's true. The only thing that my grandma didn't explain that I've worked out for myself is this. In this room at the moment, there are people and there are things and there's also space. The only thing that is present everywhere is space. Yeah? So God therefore must be in the space. So I'm in God, you're in God all the time. If I walk out the room, I'm still in God. If I go outside, I'm still in God. We're all in God all of the time. And we can have different experiences. You can hold a newborn baby in your arms, or you can look up at the stars, or you can see something like a cat giving birth, and something happens within you that you can't really put words on, because words don't do it justice, but you just know that there is something more to this life. You just know there is. Yeah? And when the kids want Harry Potter and magic, that's what they're after. But you've only got to look out in nature, you've only got to look at water. I mean, water, isn't it amazing? I mean, not only does it look, it's like this liquid that has got like a light quality, and it can become steam, and it can become ice. I mean, water's amazing. Yeah, there's so many things in our world that are just truly, truly amazing. The butterfly from the caterpillar, you know, and it goes through this stage where all it is goo. goo for a stage, and then it becomes a butterfly. I think we humans are in that goo stage at the moment. 5G gets its way, we'll definitely be in the deep goo. Yeah? Have you noticed at the moment how with the 5G it's, well, do we go with the Chinese, do we go with the American? Do we go with the Chinese, do we go with the American? Do we have it partly American, partly Chinese? When the real question should be, is it safe? Interesting, eh? Interesting world we are living in. Right, now, Anya, just try that again. It's definitely looking different from the first, isn't it? How's it feeling?
I feel overall really tingly and
Really
quite
tingly.
soft.
Yeah, and
So this feels softer as well, but
Yeah.
I can't feel any difference in.
No, that's cool, yeah. And so what typically the surgeons will do, they'll start a distance from the body, go right the way back, because that's 9 years of age, come back in through the aura. So the surgeons will be looking at everything within the physical structure of the body, things like muscles, tendons, ligaments, but they're also going to be looking on a non-physical level. So we have this physical body, but we also have the aura, the human energy field, and that has 7 different layers to it. The first layer, there's a chakra at the base of the spine. The first layer is very close to the physical body, it's an electric blue. The next one's with the sacral centre, a couple of inches below the belly button, it goes out beyond the blue, and that's got like pale pastels in there. The next one is at the solar plexus, and that's further out in the body again, and that's like a golden grid. And you've got 7 layers, and as these surgeons are working, they're looking at all of them. They can't just look at something in isolation. Now, it feels like they're suggesting that I come round, throw my mind's eye, they're showing me to come and stand here. Sometimes giving me an image is faster than telling me go stand. So mostly my information that comes through me is knowings. Mostly your information is knowings. I meet lots of people that want to see spirit. Doesn't matter whether you see spirit or not. What matters is whether something feels right. Do you know if it feels right? Can you trust this person? Can you trust this situation? If you can trust your feelings, you can guide yourself through life. But we've become a little bit lost in the material world. We've moved away from the land, the mountains, the water, the animals. You know, we used to be deeply, deeply connected with the seasons, and we sort of insulate ourselves now from the seasons. And technology it has its purposes, but it's also can be quite damaging in our space. Towards the end of this half, I'll give you a demonstration of what happens with Wi-Fi. Right, Anya, just try again, both arms. Cool, and then rest your arm down. Okay, so what we're doing now is, as much as the problem's in the arm, he's showing me here, I don't manipulate because I've had no training in manipulation. The most that I'll ever do is a very gentle, just resting my hand somewhere on the body in response to what they show me to do. I don't have to think about what I'm doing. I just simply have to allow my body to be used as an instrument, which is all well and good for the next 2 hours. And then after the show's finished, it's like, no, it's my body back now, guys. Because otherwise I lay in bed at night and my partner reaches across with his hand and says, is that you, Jeanette? Yeah, so I have to take my body back at the end of the night. Now I get to stay in here. These entities, when they work with John of God in Brazil, John of God's consciousness leaves the body. I have no idea where he goes, but he's not there, just the entities are, and it's the entities that talk. With me, the entities are with me, but I'm still here. Sometimes they give me words to speak. If I'm saying something wrong, they'll go like this all of a sudden, or like this, to tell me, shut up, Jeanette, you don't know what you're talking about, which is quite useful. I just wish they'd do it in my relationships, but they don't. My personal relationships, I can just dig myself a hole anyway. But when I'm talking to a group, if I'm saying something wrong, they'll actually stop me. Now, you're getting quite warm as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Warmth usually indicates that they're working on muscles. Coldness, as in ice cold fingers, which we may get tonight, it depends if somebody's got bone that needs working on. If there's bone that needs fixing, then my fingers will go really, really cold, like they've been in a deep freeze. It amazes me why I don't get frostbite sometimes. They go that cold. Right, now they're doing the more detailed work. So the surgeon that's working is Dr. Augusto de Almeida. Always give credit where credit is due. And so what these spirit doctors do is they work in alignment with the will of God. So in spirit world they know absolutely that God exists. They don't do things of their own volition. They're constantly turned inwards, much as you or I would meditate or pray, asking for guidance, asking what to do for the best. Now sound is used to, two things are happening at the moment. I'm using the sound because they're guiding me to, they make the sounds through me, but I've also got a surgeon going into up here on Anya, not where the break is in the arm, they're going across this top of this shoulder. And as Anya mentioned earlier, it feels like everything's softening. That's exactly what's happening now down the shoulder into the arm. Now Anya, I want you to take your mind back to the time when you broke your arm. At the time, were you cross with yourself?
I was playing.
Yes.
I was in big pain, very big pain.
Very big pain. You remember that pain? Yeah.
Well, from the arm break.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Was there anybody at that time that was annoyed with you at the time? They were annoyed that you'd hurt yourself. I've got a feeling of annoyance. I don't know what that is.
I don't consciously remember.
No, that's okay. All right. I'm just removing that out of the energetic space. We can be cross with ourselves because all of a sudden, ouch, that hurts, and we were having so much fun. It feels like it was a bad break for a little accident.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just going to keep working where I am. If you could just try that arm again. I'm just leaving. There we go. Cool. Right, and then rest it down again. Right, now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. So we've done the neck, we've done the shoulder. They work in quite an organised way. Now we're getting into where the break is and scar tissue. Incidentally, the very best thing for scar tissue that I've ever come across is lavender oil. You can put that, it's one of the rare, might be the only oil you can put on in terms of aromatherapy oils. You can apply neat. But lavender oil is excellent for scars, if you've got any scars that need working on. And so the surgeons bring me from the outer edges of the auric field into the close physical. Even now I'm working on the mental layer, I'm still not on the physical. This hand, my right hand's working on the physical layer. The physical layer is very similar to Anya's top. It's more electric blue, but it's this kind of colour. And the surgeons just removed something from the arm. So let's just give it another try on here and just see how that's feeling. It's getting closer each time, isn't it? Millimetres, but we can see something there. How's it feeling to you?
Yeah, it feels softer and softer.
Softer. That thumb's almost touching now, isn't it? Not far at all. Cool. Oh, there we go. The fingers are touching. Yay. That's cool. All right. Now we're going into from the shoulder down the arm into the there. So how is it this works? Well, you see, you are more than you perceive yourselves to be. You think of yourselves very often as a body with a spirit inside. You're not. You're a spirit with a body in. And you are all connected. You think of yourselves as separate, but you're not. You're all connected with everything. You're connected with the trees, the earth, the moon, the stars. Yeah, you can lay under a starry sky and feel like a vast wonder at the enormity of it all. not just that small insignificant being, you're the vastness. If you can perceive the vastness, you've got some faculty to be aware of the vastness of space. That gives you a little inkling to the vastness of who you are. And what's happening for the human race is we are shifting from perceiving ourselves as separate to understanding that we're all part of the same one. It's why soul means one. S-O-U-L can also be spelled S-O-L-E, soul meaning one. And we're moving so that we understand that we are. You know, we can't hurt somebody, kill them, stab them, have them starve somewhere and not be affected by it. We get affected by it. So we've got to start opening our eyes to what's happening in our world and making better choices. And as we make better choices that will benefit each other, we too benefit. There's a story about a man that dies and goes to heaven. He's had a good life. And St. Peter meets him at the gate. He says, "Oh gosh, you're 10 minutes early. I wasn't expecting you till 3. Tell you what, before I take you to the good place, do you want a quick look in the other door of the other place?" He says, "Oh, as long as you don't leave me there, I don't mind sticking my nose in the door." So they go off to this place, and it's got a great big wooden door, probably as tall as this building, and it says hell. And as they approach hell, they can smell all these wonderful smells. And he's a little bit mystified by this. They swing open the doors to hell, and here are all these sickly, gaunt people with bulging eyes and swollen bellies. And there's all these pots of delicious smelling food, but nobody can eat it because the spoons are 6 foot long. "Well, then I'm not going there," he says. And Peter takes him to the good place. The good place looks awfully much like the other place, and great big wooden doors as tall as this room. And at the top it says heaven. From outside they can smell all these wonderful smells. They swing open the doors, and there we are, the same cauldrons of delicious smelling food. And the people have got shiny hair, clear skin, bright eyes. They look well fed and nourished and happy. You can hear children playing and laughing. And they've got 6 foot spoons. So the man looks at St. Peter and said, "What's going on here then?" St. Peter said, "Oh, well, in heaven, you see, they've learned to feed each other." Yeah, it's the secret of a happy life. Find somebody worse off than you within your own family, within your own community, and start doing something for them, and you start feeling really, really good. Yeah? You ever had that feeling when you go out shopping, you buy this thing, you really, really want this thing, you buy it, and then as you're coming away, you've got this bad feeling inside? You ever had that happen? That feeling of happiness was very short-lived, and then it's like, "Oh, sugar, I shouldn't spend all that money." Yeah? Well, what's happening now?
Yeah, it's just a bit of a funny feeling.
Funny feeling, yeah. Cool. Right, let's give it a go. It's a lot better, isn't it? So I've got to look at the front to see how good it is. There we go. Yeah.
I'm not sure if I normally touch the shoulder or not. Did I earlier?
No, not until you were right this much off.
Right.
Yeah, so it's looking, you'll be able to see it on camera, it's looking a
Yeah.
lot better. Okay, I'm just going to go down the arm once more because my feeling is that's what I need to do. Yeah, I do. If there's nothing more to do, then my arms don't move, but yes. Okay. This sound is clearing out energies that are stuck in there. Yep, and again both arms up again, see how that feels. It looks a lot better. I'm looking at the back and it looks a lot better at the back. How's it feeling to you inside there?
I don't normally try it so often, so it feels a little bit strange.
Yeah.
But again, it's more the overall feeling that I'm with, really.
Yeah.
Like, I feel really good. I feel really, like, quite alive, and whenever you hum, I'm like, ooh.
So awesome. Give her a round of applause.